Welcome to Restry Health Channel. In this video, we will talk about how to trick your memory to lose weight. There may be a simple way to lose weight, it is only the use of the power of thought. All you have to do is find out in the following lines by BBC Science writer David Robson. Eric Robinson follows a surprising trick to lose weight, using a tool we all have, but we may not use it as much as we want it to our memory. Dieters often feel at war with the stomach, but psychologists like Robinson argue that appetite can be shaped as much as we develop courage. Robinson says that as much as you try to remember your last meal, you can lose weight without feeling hungry. A lot of research done so far has shown that subtle psychological factors can influence the amount of food you eat, but people are still not aware of this, and this is important, given the problem of obesity around the world, Robinson adds. If this is true, then how could this be helpful? The inspiration for this thinking comes, in part, from those with very poor memory who suffer from a deficit known as anterograde amnesia, and you may meet them and have a deep conversation, but after 20 minutes they will have no clue about you, something is happening to them, and they won't remember. Who are you after 20 minutes of your absence, says Robinson, a professor at the University of Liverpool. Forget about food, the same applies to the food they eat, as one of the main studies involved a former musician and banker, both of whom suffer from amnesia following infection with herpes that affected the temporal cortex, the part of the brain that works to create new memories. The first time they were offered a plate of sandwiches and muffins, and they ate until they gobbled up completely, so the plate was taken away from them, but more was served again after 15 minutes. At a time when the healthy volunteers felt not wanting to eat more food, the two ate until they ran out of food again, because they forgot what was in the first time eating food. Even if they were offered food for the third time, they would eat it as well, as I mentioned. Glenn Humphreys, of the University of Oxford, who conducted the study. Despite their poor memories, they did not seem to know what they had just eaten, and in another part of the experience, they were allowed to taste a range of foods, a plate of sweet rice, potato chips, or chocolate, and asked to wait a little while. Then I showed them the dining table again. Most people, like you and me, would choose a variety of flavors. Let's try other tastes a second time, a phenomenon called specific sensory satiety. And, like us, the two amnesia volunteers also saw that they were less tempted by their previous choice, although they were not sure they had taken it before. Their preference for changing tastes suggests that they have no problem with sensory processing of the dishes, rather, they cannot consciously and clearly remember what they ate, which is why they are still hungry, even when their stomachs are full. You might think that a healthy mind is smart enough to pay attention to what you eat, but recent research shows that it is easily deceived. Look at this ingenious experiment conducted by Jeff Brunstrom at the University of Bristol, in which the participants thought the task was simple, to eat soup. Unbeknownst to them, Brunstrom connected tubes through the counter to the plates, which allowed him to increase the quantity in some dishes without them noticing, and he found that their intake completely depended on what was in the bowl at the start of the meal, whether it seemed a lot or a little, and in fact, he only served them too little. All of this weakens the prevailing idea that hunger is controlled by gut hormones, but as Brunstrom says, I don't think this type of signal is important, but rather it reduces the role of perception, which in some cases may be more important. This may affect our hectic modern life, as work lunches are now commonplace in most offices, and since many people watch TV or play with their smartphones and laptops during meals in the evening, it may affect how you remember what you ate. Brunstrom, for example, asked some of the experiment participants to eat with one hand while playing solitaire with the other. Thanks to the distraction, participants found it difficult to remember what was in the meal and even consumed more biscuits later in the day. Sensory enhancement. This is why researchers are now seeking to enhance the sensory memory of food, as Robinson recently tested whether a recording of actions while eating could help draw the attention of a group of obese women when eating some meat sandwiches. The voice instructions were simple, consisting of a 3-minute clip asking them to focus on a complete sensory experience concerned with managing what they eat, its taste, and its aroma. A second group ate sandwiches while listening to the sound of a sweet cuckoo. As Robinson had hoped, he asked them about the food, and he requested a full description at a later time. After less than 3 hours, they ate snacks, that is, after consuming less than 30% of the calories. Although this approach may not work for everyone, Robinson has other ideas for alternative approaches. In another experiment, asking people to consciously remember what they ate earlier in the day seemed to reduce overeating at a later time. And he thinks that even imagination may help. A Penn State team found that your perception of the boring detail of the meal you're eating fools the mind, and even makes it feel that it has actually eaten a snack, and this reduces the desire to eat and actually burns calories. Robinson is currently working on an app that can enable a person to remember the meals they previously consumed throughout the day, but despite all these efforts, he indicated that we still need more clinical trials to determine whether memory tricks are really effective in the ongoing battle with obesity or not. Robinson is also concerned that people will find these steps boring, especially if they are accustomed to hearing music every time they eat. Among the promising things is that the methods of eating with awareness of those who underwent that experience do not reduce the enjoyment of meals, but on the contrary, it seemed that they found more pleasure in tasting food flavors. It really can't be imagined that gastronomic tasting is a good thing, says Robinson. If these steps are feasible, then these tricks can offer this rare thing, a weight loss program that really enhances your enjoyment of food, and surely this would be one of the most acceptable solutions to combat obesity. In the end, I will put you in the description below the video a program that helps you lose weight well. And thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the alerts button, watch more health videos on our channel, and share this video with your friends to provide benefit to everyone. See you in a new video. Take good care of yourself.